Today we are talking about inflation. We are at a higher inflation rate than they were in the Depression. So if you know any ancestors, grandparents, great aunts and uncles, you need to utilize them and ask, how did you get through it? What did you do? What did you cut cost? They are a wealth of knowledge and they're a history book. Please utilize them. Ask everything you can from them because before you know it, we're going to be retelling this story to our kids. It's not fun. So today we are talking about 10 inflation tips that I think are super important. You do your own research, but I'm trying to give you more bang for your buck. That's why I'm here to help. Hopefully this channel will help you. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe and like this comment. Turn on your notifications so you can get an update anytime I post a new video. Okay, with that, let's dive right in. First and foremost, I am a huge Dave Ramsey fan. We've done his course, we've paid off tons of debt. We're still in the baby steps, but I am a huge fan of budgeting. If you don't know and tell your money where it goes, poof, it's gone. Like I'm talking paycheck goes right into the shredder. Been there, done that. It sucks. So every penny you get, you need to budget exactly where it's going to go. I don't care if you have a $500 limit on restaurants. It needs to find its home. So you know if I get paid $20,000 every week, wouldn't that be nice? That I have itemized every single thing to where I have $0 at the end of my budget. That's what a good budget should look like. Number 2, limit your purchases. Focus on what's essential, what's not essential. Do you need that new designer's bag? Do you have to have that brand new Tahoe sitting outside in your driveway? Really look at what's important, what's not important, because I know a 1999 minivan is going to get you around just as good as that brand new 2023 Cadillac Escalade that we all dream of. Maybe not, might need a little more oil, but it still rolls, okay? Hopefully. Tip 3, kind of back to the budgeting. Clean up your debt wherever you can. If you have a credit card that's lingering for $200 and you just got a pay increase, tackle that. Pay that $200 off because every dollar is getting charged interest. So if you have $1's worth of debt and it's getting 25% interest rate, you're paying $1.25 for every dollar you just spent. So that $10 purchase you just made isn't $10. And if you're like me, you forget and oh, it was important, it was necessary, but it's not. Like, when I roll through McDonald's, if I would want a $5 item, I would swipe my card. This is before I budgeted and did Dave Ramsey, but I learned from it because it was not important. I could have went without the Frappe or Victoria's Secret perfume, whatever I was getting, it cost me a lot and I learned a ton from it. You know how it goes. Learn from others' mistakes so you don't have to do them yourself. Tip number 4, which is kind of like how I've been rolling with these first 3, avoid high interest debt. If you go to your mailbox, usually there's some kind of like incentive. Hey, get this Discovery card for only 28% interest rate. Well, that interest is insane. And I haven't seen a really low card for a long time, but bottom line, do not live off credit cards because you're gonna pay so much more at the end when you just need to pay cash. And if you don't have the cash, it wasn't in the budget, you don't need it. I'm not trying to be mean. I just wish that I would have had that guidance when I was younger. And now I'm in inflation and we have no credit cards, but unfortunately we still have credit card debt that we're paying off. See how that works? We cut our cards up and we're still paying for them because they were high interest. It was a good deal. We just bought a house. Everyone is throwing things at you. You need this. You can't live without this Discover card, Home Depot card, anything else. I mean, they will find you and tell you it's a great deal and shocker. It's not. Tip number 5, shop smart. Look at your ads, look at your coupons. If you get coupons in the mail, use them up. Like I said, I know Dollar General does them. On Saturdays, you get $5 off a $25 purchase. That's great for any like dry goods you need or laundry detergent or toilet paper, like those essential items that you can get a discount for that you might not be able to at big stores because their generics might not have the coupons. Number 6 kind of rolls in with the budgeting. Get an emergency fund. We have an emergency fund and we never let it go under a certain amount. Usually they tell you $1,000. Keep an emergency fund for $1,000. Imagine coming home to your house and your washing machine has exploded and there's water all over and you need a new washer because you have an infant crying in the back and just had a blowout. Been there, done that. And you don't want to go to the laundromat. I mean, if you have to utilize it, that's great. But nobody with infants wants to go to a laundromat. Been there too. And that was because our basement was in demo mode, but it doesn't matter. If I would have had $1,000, we could have went and replaced that washing machine, maybe only had to go to the laundromat a couple times instead of out for however long. So always have that little nest egg for a rainy day. You never know where you're gonna use it, or, you know, alternator goes out, blew a tire, the list goes on and on. We are never prepared for those kind of emergencies, but if you have a little nest egg, it really helps your stress level know, hey, I can tap into this. I'll take $800, go get whatever I need to fix it. Then as soon as I'm done on my next budget, I'm just gonna add more into my nest egg to get my savings right back up. Tip number 7, and it's hard for me to say that you can't do this because I can read. I see signs all over. Get a second job, get a side hustle. There are help wanted signs all over. I mean, all I see is help wanted at every restaurant, every convenience store, every grocery store. They're hiring. People are in desperate times for really good employees. And what better way to go home at night than to actually go make some more money for your family, pay off some of that debt. You don't have to work a second job forever, just until you can get your debt under control or your finances to where when this inflation calms down, you can look back and be like, I made it. I still have good savings. I still have all my bills paid on time. Not only that, it improves your work ethic. Like, who doesn't want that? It's a win-win for everyone. And tip number 8, speaking of restaurants, try and go, if you want to go out to eat, everyone does, try and find a good time that's more bang for your buck. Whenever we go out to eat, we usually try and go on lunch. And a lot of that is because we have little ones at home. Well, actually at preschool at the time, but we like to go and eat because me and my husband get a conversation that's uninterrupted. So that's a plus. But we also can hit up the lunch menu where it's like $10 a plate instead of 15 to 20 at night. But if you do take your babies, which is great, everyone likes to go out to eat, try and find, like, when they do happy hour, a lot of times from like, I think it's 3 to 6, 4 to 6, whatever, they'll do like a happy hour where you get appetizers for a certain price and like obviously drinks for adults, but utilize that. I mean, I know my girls, certain restaurants, we love getting certain appetizers, and that's all we go for. We strictly go for the appetizers. So we hit up the happy hour time and they've never looked at the menu and been like, I want a T-bone steak instead. Like, they just know this is why we like this restaurant. They've got steak fingers, whatever it might be. Another time we like to go is Wednesday nights at Applebee's. They have 99-cent kids meals. I can't feed my kids at home for 99 cents. We going. And another tip on that, if your kids meals come with a drink, cool, whatever. But do they really need a $3 drink every time they go to the restaurant if it's not included with the kids meal? Plus, let's be honest, we know pop is not good for anybody. Tastes great, but if you can get waters all the way around. I grew up, we never, ever had pop. I mean, I bet we had pop maybe 10 times a year. We just never got it. We didn't buy it at the house very often. We only had water at restaurants, and that's all we knew. Like, we didn't ever fight back with my mom because that was just, it was either a $3 drink for each of us, or we could go to the movies after and have more fun. Like, you gotta take and give. Number 9, Energy Smart programs. Call your utility company. We have one obviously where I live in Kansas, but they came over, did a whole house smart program, and they checked to see where we were losing the most efficiency. It was crazy, guys. We literally would look at our walls. This one's new, my husband just put it up, but our walls would have blue coming through. Blue's not good. That meant air coming through. So we had a certain wall in our living room and it was really cold throughout the winter, and like, didn't matter what we did, it was just cold. So they came in and put their heat gun on it and they could see where heat was going in and out. It was like somebody just like ripped off part of our siding on the outside. There was so much cold air coming out. Then there was a big part above our refrigerator. And I mean, I never would have looked to see if there was anything coming out of there, but it was like part of the chimney that wasn't capped correctly and just cold or hot air coming right in. So when we're at work and we think, oh, nothing's running, well, your central air and heat still is running. And if it's bringing in all this cold or hot air. It's kicking on when nobody's even home. So they come in and they make a program to where it makes your house smarter, meaning you don't have to use as much electricity, which means they don't have to supply you as much, and they win also because they can utilize that other places. There are programs that will put in windows, furnaces, insulation, whatever you need for your house. Not all of them, but check with your companies. And what happens is if you put in brand new windows in your house and in 10 years you move to a different house, that program stays with that house. So it's like 10, 15, 20 bucks a month extra on your bill that you don't even realize because you just come accustomed to it, but you're saving more energy inside the house, but you're paying off that small amount and it stays with the house. Super cool program. They even gave us a whole bunch of like the little outlet holders. You put in your outlet behind the plate of it and then screw them on, and they're like little foam, kind of like a sticker, and it prevents any cold air from coming in. And I could not believe, feeling before and after on them, how much of a draft we had coming from outside. And our house was built in '66. It's not super old, but it's not brand new either. But even the brand new houses, they've seen issues to where they're not sealed as tight or finished as complete as they could have been. And number 10, this one is my favorite. I hope all you guys can use it. We live in a smaller community where we have lots of friends that our kids are the same age, they go to the same school, preschool, whatever it might be. We switch date nights. So some friends down the street have 2 little boys and we trade vice versa. So I'll take her kids one night, her and her husband get to go out, and my kids have a ball because they're having a sleepover, friends over, whatever. Then the next week or week after, whenever we need, we'll switch. My girls will go over there and me and my husband will go out on the night, whatever we plan on doing. It saves so much in babysitting fees because it's easily $100 for me and my husband to go out, and that's just the babysitter. That doesn't include drinks if we decide to go get drinks, or the meal, or the movies, or whatever else we decide to do. That does not even include that. So it can add up really fast. So use each other. And all I had to do was simply ask a few friends, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, oh my gosh, that's genius. Like, I pay my high school girl X amount, and by the time the night's over, it's usually close to $100 too. So it really works for us because our neighbor is just 4 houses down, so we can walk. I mean, like, just in case, you know, we've had a really fun time that night. But utilize what you can, like back to trading services, walking dogs, taking care of each other's kids, like swap things out. It doesn't even have to be for income. It can be, hey, could you come clean my house and tomorrow I'll watch your kids for 4 hours, whatever the trade might be. But get smart with that. Service to service, if you can trade, utilize it because everybody is impacted. If you got something out of this video, please comment, share. I want you to please put in the comments what you do to help with inflation, how to keep costs down. I would love more tips and tricks so people like you guys can read the comments and be like, oh, I didn't think of that. What a great idea. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and notifications on so you can get more content whenever I post it.